Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, September 27th, 2017 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is the revolution brings forth the revelation. And in other words, you gotta feel it to heal it. And I feel like that is what the astro today is bringing us in and through. So we're in the second part of Revolution Evolution Day. The first part started on Tuesday. Going into the second part of it, Revolution Evolution Day is Uranus-led energy. And Uranus-led energy, its purpose is to liberate us. Its purpose is to get us into our authentic expression, our authentic vibration. But a lot of times, due to living, due to life, due to society, due to expectations, we put on all kinds of layers on top of these vibrations. And so Revolution Evolution Days, we shed these layers. And then from there, we go into Mercury-led days, revelation. Then the understanding comes. And like I said, that to me is what is going on today. Now, this is our last full day of Pluto retrograde in Capricorn as well, till next year. But we're finishing up this retrograde, and I think this may be part of this energy. I feel like Pluto's like, just dig a little deeper, get these deep shadow things up so that we can reveal more of the light. Now, helping that is two oppositions. I've been talking about these oppositions. Now, let's remind about the oppositions. Oppositions can be a tug of war, but it need not be a tug of war. Oppositions are also polar partners. We used to call them that at Soul Garden. Polar partners. They are balancing energies. If we are tug-of-warring, it means that somewhere within us, somewhere within our polar partners, somewhere within our personal yin and yang energies, our yin energy, we're shutting the door on one part of that and relying too heavily on the other. So these oppositions today are giving us opportunity to balance ourselves in and through these aspects. So the two oppositions that we have going on today, one is Mercury opposite Chiron. Mercury in Virgo, bringing in that wholeness vibration, mentally connecting to the wholeness vibration. Chiron in Pisces, Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron in Pisces, the wounded healer, connecting to all of spirit, connecting to all of is. Because Pisces energy, it really does encompass all that is. And so with these connecting, again, with the revelations energy, you may be tuning into old trauma. And that's the thing. We all have our own personal trauma that we're here working through, healing, finding the light in and through, bringing the light to. But beyond that, I think all of us, whether we're tuned into it or not, do carry universal trauma as well that we're processing and healing at the same time. So you may find some understanding about some of what you have been going through maybe this Chiron retrograde, or maybe even through Chiron in Pisces over the last several years. I can't remember. I remember when it went in, but thinking back to when that was, like 2011, 2012? Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since it's, been in. But what are the revelations that are coming through? This isn't going to be the only time for revelations, but this is a time where they may come through. Now, interestingly enough with this is that we have a bit of a T-square still, with Lilith and Saturn holding space in Sagittarius with this Mercury-Chiron energy. So, Lilith is very interesting because Lilith does bring forth the repressed feminine. Lilith does bring forth, though at the same time, the repressed feminine who went, oh no, wait, this isn't true to who I am. I'm going to liberate myself. Lilith must have had some strong Uranus in her chart. I'm going to liberate myself, and I'm going to show up for myself, and I'm going to be true to myself, which is awesome because Lilith is right there hanging out with Saturn, and Saturn is about personal responsibility. Saturn is showing up for yourself. So today, with this happening at 26 degrees, which is an 8, how will you and how can you show up for yourself? How will you and how can you show up for any trauma, any pain, any suffering, any hurt that is surfacing today? How can you bring the love to it? How can you be true to yourself in and through it. I have the compromise card, which is the don't compromise card. Don't compromise yourself when it comes to this. Don't compromise yourself when it comes to any of these old traumas. Again, whether it's been in this life or another life, or even something that you're like, I don't even know why I am carrying this wound, but I feel this wound. Honor yourself. Show up for yourself. Bring in the healing. Allow yourself to process the feeling in and through this. Now, it's interesting because we have the moon in Sagittarius and the moon shifting into Capricorn, and that neither of those moon energies are incredibly feeling. Hold on. I'm doing this. Neither of those energies are incredibly feeling energies. That's not true. They both are feeling energies. The moon anywhere is a feeling energy. They're not necessarily so expressive in their feeling. They don't have reputations for being very emotional moons. But I do feel with this combination of the energies, the emotions may not be kind of emotions, but the emotions are going to be coming up. And they do need to be processed. And with that moon in Capricorn, you do need to show up for them. You don't need to put on a mask. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to act like you have it all under control. That's just an illusion. Don't go there. Show up for these energies because there will be so much healing in it for you if you can be receptive to what's coming up for you. And like I said, it's going to be probably some of this old stuff. It's okay. It's good. When these old things come up, it's like, yes, I can deal with it instead of it being something like hidden away. I love when Abraham says, embrace the contrast. Embrace these energies because they are there to help you. Contrast is like bouncing on a trampoline. That contrast helps you when it's like the trampoline goes down and yet it's resisting you and suddenly goes boing and helps you go further. That's what we want. And then the other opposition, like I said, is that Jupiter-Uranus opposition today. And by the way, Uranus is building to and in conjunct with Mercury. So Mercury is also playing in to this energy and playing with Uranus. Mercury is like taking the information from this healing with Chiron and then being like to Uranus, okay, what are you going to do with this? Come on, Uranus. How are you going to shake this up? How are you going to release this for us? And Uranus is like, got it. These triggers that come up, pay attention to them instead of being like, I'm so triggered. Be like, all right, yeah, I see you, trigger. What are you trying to do? How are you helping me liberate myself? Jupiter in Libra. How are you helping me love myself? How are you helping me balance myself? How are you showing me where I may be out of balance with my yin or yang energy? Maybe I'm being a little bit passive about this thing where I need to show up more, or maybe I'm being a little too action oriented and I need to stop and just be with this energy. I've got a lot of stop and be with the energy cards. A whole bunch. They just jumped out. Like the cards just jumped out today. Look at these 3 cards. Isolation. Tuning in. Sorrow. But all of these cards is like, all right, here we are. Being centered, whole, sitting down, tuning in, and even this, the receptivity, tuning into what is wanting to come through for you right now. Again, remembering that it is for your liberation, and remembering with Pluto about to go direct, ultimately, all of this that you're showing up for is for your personal empowerment. Now, let's talk about the other things that are going on before we finish up with the cards. We have the moon finishing up in Sagittarius. The moon in Sagittarius is also enhancing the Jupiter-Uranus energies by connecting to that. That moon in Sagittarius is like, there's a solution. There's a silver lining. I'm going to find it. Let that Sagittarius moon work for you to bring you what that solution is. We then have the moon shifting into Capricorn. Moon into Capricorn, like I said, has more of a solemn feeling to it, but don't think that you need to hide. Use the energy of Capricorn to show up. Use the energy of Capricorn to be like, this is my responsibility to show up for myself right now in and through what I'm going through. The last thing I want to talk about, that moon in Capricorn is going to square the sun in Libra. Again, you may find yourself out of balance, and that out of balanceness may come from that trying to hide energy. The place where you're like, I'm just not ready to be true. You don't have to be true out there. You know, like yes, eventually we would like to get there, but at least be true to yourself. And that's where the real out of balance energy, when we're like, I've got it under control. I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, but I've got it under control. And it's like the stress card. You're teetering on the ball and the monkeys, needs to go for a walk. You don't have to pretend for yourself. And speaking of the monkey for that walk, that connection with the sun and the moon is at 5 degrees, which is that mental degree. You do not have to convince yourself. I don't like fake it till you make it, because it is fake. And I don't believe that it goes along with the law of attraction, because I think when we're faking something, we know that we're faking, and that energy of like untrue is like icky. It's bad inside of us. We're like, blah, this doesn't feel good. However, we can take, I want to be in that place. I want to be in that place where I'm a millionaire. I want to be in that place where I'm in a happy relationship. I want to be in that place where I'm feeling good and I'm feeling healthy. Pretending you're healthy is not going to ultimately make you healthy, but taking steps like, I want to be healthy. I'm going to drink this water because I am healthy and I want to be healthy. It's going to be those things that help bring you in. Show up for yourself. Walk the talk. Don't just pretend it. And I think that's a big part of these balancing lessons, and a part of this liberation, and part of this Lilith energy that's feeding into all this. You've got to walk your talk. You can't just say, I'm leaving, I'm out of here, and then just go sit there and be like, see, watch me leave. Nope, you gotta walk. You gotta walk away. All right, finishing up this card. I decided to pull a Gaia Oracle card. And this one, I was like, yes. I pulled the Remembrance card, and I'm going to read this whole thing. Remembrance, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. It is said that all we have is the present. While that is true, it is also true that in essence, past, present, and future are one. We are connected energetically to both past and future. Life is an evolving story, and where we are now is a result of where we have been. This card signifies that past feelings and emotions are surfacing from deep within you, and you may find yourself on an emotional roller coaster over the coming days. Do not fight it. This is all fine. It's important to occasionally remember and honor your past, because it is part of you and part of your soul's journey. Yet remember to honor every part of it, regardless of whether you perceive some parts to be good or bad. For in some way, every experience has helped to expand your understanding and appreciation of life. Occasionally reflecting on the past is healthy, just as giving some thought to your future is wise. However, excessive preoccupation with either only serves to rob you of the present moment, and that serves no real purpose. The affirmation is, I bless my past, I'm grateful for every experience, and for every experience has helped me expand my understanding of love. My life is forever unfolding as it should. The past, the present, the future are one. I honor and respect my feelings and emotions, for they are part of my story. So, Gaia Oracle. And then, to finish up, from the Soulful Woman, help us, in the flow. When I'm in the flow, magic happens. I think this is what we need to remember today. As whatever comes up for us in this opposition. Again, remember, we don't have to be in a tug of war with the energies. We can work with them. And if you find yourself in a tug of war, ask yourself where you are personally out of balance, where you may be a little bit too much in the yang or a little bit too much in the yin, and where you may need to soften, or where you may need to bring that fierce and do what you need to do to bring yourself into balance, because it's going to be an individual process for each of us. But even so, remember, feel it to heal it as you move through this energy. So, that being said, book a reading if you want to dive deeper into your personal chart, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.